All right, guys. Today we're going to be reacting to more Andrew Wilson. Women glitches 3 times while debating Andrew and voting rights. Let's jump in.
We can say that, but it's honestly, frankly, never going to happen, even in states that are incredibly progressive, incredibly liberal, because liberals and progressives don't care about male issues.
Yeah.
Don't care about male issues. So it's only about the woman. And so, but true equality, if that's what feminists really cared for, would be like, well, we can give men this equality that would equalize things, or true equality, we walk back abortion rights completely. So that's why it's women's advocacy.
Right.
There's also, though, I don't know, or I probably can't explain this, but equity and equality, I think, is where.
So what, I don't know what that
So
means. So you'll have to
equality,
explain
again,
that.
I don't want to compete like with men and have everything, I don't know, be equal in that sense. There's, it's
You mean
just-
equity? You're talking equity.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that was just
Everything.
it's not necessarily equality, which I think is the problem. That's what is.
But so, I'm a little confused here. So, are you saying that, well, it's not equality, but it is equity that women currently aren't required to?
No, I'm saying that the issue.
Isn't equity basically just giving the same opportunity regardless of where you come from? You get the same opportunity, but you're not guaranteed the same result. Isn't that equity?
Issue with the feminist movement is equality and a push for equality, whereas again I understand that there are biological differences between men and women. I don't want to be I can't lift the same as or as heavy as a man would be able to. Just certain things where
But yeah, so what in terms of the two examples I provided, just where does that come in?
the two examples that you provided with the
Military.
Well, so my position is that feminism is not, it's not inequality. It's not about equality, because should there be some form of true equality between men and women that could conceivably come to the detriment of women, feminists will not fight or advocate for achieving said equality.
Oh, sorry. No, I was agreeing with your point. I was just stating that the issue that I think with them is that, again, it's the push for equality, which I think is unrealistic.
Yeah.
Well, so you're against the push for equality?
She's getting on.
Yes, I'm for equity,
So, okay, so equity would be what?
and that's where it's.
Well, let me
Yeah,
ask you-
see, she using equity, but she cannot define it. And that's a problem, because somehow she might be just conflicting the two definitions.
question, does equity justify the current state of men in this country being the sole subjects of forced military conscription?
That, I'm on the side where I don't think we should be enlisted, but that's because of all the issues that current women face in the military, and
Such
they're
as what?
subject to a higher percentage of SA. A lot of them are subject to a ton of
Wait, hold on. I just got to come in on this. Should women be precluded from going to college, given that feminists often like to purport that the SA rate is sky high in universities?
Damn, that's a good point. That is a
It's
good
a
point.
feminist talking point that in universities, I don't agree with their statistics, but they say that
I mean, when we're talking about a draft, though, this is like we're choosing to go to university. We're not necessarily choosing to go fight in the military. So,
That was a strong man.
yeah, different circumstances. You're talking
sure,
about.
fair enough.
Yeah.
Okay, you're not compelled to go to university. So back to your point, though. So because
Yeah, but I don't get that though.
Yeah.
Wouldn't that be worse? Like, wouldn't that be worse? So, okay, you're compelled to go to this place where you potentially could get SA'd, versus you choose to go to this place where the stats are way higher for SA? Wouldn't it seem like you would still advise women not to go to either place?
Good point. There we
Talking
go.
about education, though, and getting education.
Oh, so it's education. Okay, so education, because it is education, is fine. Okay.
Over fighting a war.
You're going to get educated in a war. Soldiers get educated, and you're going to have access to free education post-war. So, I mean, the thing that I don't really understand here, though, is
He's very smart.
if the argument, or if kind of the worldview is the rates of SA are way higher inside of college, right? Makes sense, right? There's a lot more young women. There's a lot more kind of drunkenness going on, things like this, kind of logically, I could see how that could definitely be an issue. But if your objection is, well, women shouldn't have to go into a draft because of SA, well, then neither should men, because men are far more likely to be SA'd in the military as well, if they're not in the military. So if men aren't in the military, less likely to be SA'd than if they are in the military.
Good point.
Men, yeah, that's correct.
Wow.
Significantly higher, by the way.
Okay,
Wow.
I'm just not really
I
understanding
did not
the
know that.
question. Are you,
Okay,
was that
so
just a-
so so
a
if
general-
you're saying, well, it's kind of two-pronged.
So you're
So,
comparing.
yeah, so I'll make it super easy, right? If you're saying women shouldn't go to the draft because their potential to be SA'd is way higher.
Not necessarily that. There's just, not just that point. There's also just the point of physically, again, as well. Physically, men are definitely better equipped to handle like heavier machinery, like do a ton of things that require physical strength. I think that like if women fought, like, okay, so if you got women versus men to fight in a war, who the hell
Yeah.
do we think would win?
Men, for sure.
Men for sure. So it's just more of a, I don't know how much we'd help necessarily.
So then what additional benefit do men receive?
Like, I don't know how much,
I mean,
like,
I
I don't know
agree. Well, I'm
what
just
this could
asking-
do.
I don't know.
Like,
Hey, listen, I totally agree with this point, but it just kind of makes me want to ask, though, what additional benefit then should men receive from the state, considering the fact that you only want them to go and fight wars on behalf of you?
But can I?
There we go. Okay, and let's just emphasize that. You notice how one of the women, wanted to jump in as soon as she got on. You know why they do that? They're protecting each other. And you, as a debater, you have to put a stop to that. Hold on, let her answer. And you will notice as soon as you say that, they will go and back up. It's just social dynamics, folks.
So
all
what
wars are
should they
started
additionally
by
be
men,
entitled
no?
to that
So-
you're not entitled to is my question.
Sorry again.
Okay, there you go.
Well, if you want men to go fight wars to protect you, what should they be entitled to that you're not entitled to?
What is it?
Well, they have a greater responsibility than
What do you
because they
believe?
have to go fight
okay,
the wars,
so what do
right?
you believe that men should be entitled to?
Answer my question.
Because they do this. You think that our right to vote should be stripped because we don't enlist
If you
in
can't
the
defend
military?
it, then why should you have it?
There we
If
go.
other people have to defend it on behalf of you, then why shouldn't they exclusively have it and you not have it?
Yeah.
Good point.
Can I answer this?
There we go.
No.
Yeah, no.
No.
What did I tell you? What did I tell you? Can I answer this? It's basically she want to jump in and defend her. It's what they call the sisterhood. That's a code, right? That's a social code.
I'm just not really. Sorry, I'm
Wow,
not really.
it's very
But,
easy
okay.
question.
Yeah, so I'll make it. I'll break it down a little bit.
Yeah,
simpler.
yeah. So I'm
yes.
I'm getting a like because
Very
you
simple.
guys.
Since you guys cannot defend your own rights, it makes no sense why to give it in the first place. Because the rights are basically an extension of who we are for society. Right? We made the huge mistake of just giving rights to individuals that cannot defend it. Right? Whether it's right or wrong. This is not about right or wrong. Can you defend your rights? That's what the question is.
Aren't enlisting in the military, you shouldn't have the right to vote.
Yeah, I mean, but let's assume for a
is that
second
your
I was
argument?
even.
That sounds like
Yeah.
your argument.
No. It's just the potential for it. So all men have to sign up for selective service, all of them, every single one of them. And if a bad enough
Which
war
I
breaks out,
don't
hang
think should
on,
be the
let me
case
finish.
either.
Yeah, hang on, let me finish. All men have to sign up for selective service at 18 years old. That is the law. Now, the thing is that if a war got bad enough, they would be able to serve in tons of different capacities other than just fighting on the front lines of whatever said war was. Especially if a war was bad enough, they would take them with almost any condition. We've seen this before.
That point.
So if that's true, and
that point you have cholesterol, high blood pressure, cancer, whatever, HIV, anything, you are going to go. You are going to go to the front line, or somehow we are going to be using you, regardless, because you have the potential, even the potential of protecting and serving. And to be honest, a lot of these government understand that if you put 100% of female into positions like this, it's not going to be as effective, right? I'm not saying that they don't have the capability of, but it may take a little bit longer.
Exists that if a massive war broke out and men are the ones exclusively who are going to fight it, why don't they have additional privileges that the people who aren't able to defend their own rights have?
That's what I don't understand. No, yeah, they should. If that was the case, then I think that men should have special privileges over.
There you go.
I agree.
There you go.
If it came down to that,
again.
If it came down to that again, this is
But it could.
But I mean, it has come down to that many times.
Yeah, it could. That's the point. It could. That's why we have wars, because it could, and it already happened.
I mean, it's already happened.
Then they
many
100% should receive special privileges without stripping our right to vote.
No.
Well, yeah, but I don't understand, because you can vote to make them go to war for you. That's why it's problematic.
Very problematic, bro.
So you can vote. So let me explain what I mean.
Men or women? Who's creating these wars, though?
If women voted to go to war, it would be women, right?
And I don't think women would vote to go to war.
Really?
The problem you have with that is when we take a look at female monarchs, they often went to war far more than the male monarchs did. So it turns out that, and by the way, when it comes to warmongering, women often do vote that direction. And the thing is why wouldn't they? They don't really have to suffer any of the physical repercussions.
That's what I'm saying. Like, go to war. Ukraine is a good example of this. How a lot of these people, they just go, they're in favor. Ukraine and Russia war go forever. And they have. This is the crazy thing when it comes to things like this. As men, we understand that war is never a good option. But if it comes down to that, we have the responsibility to just shut up and just move forward and just go with our duty. Now imagine a set of class of people, a gender that is, that they have the same amount of power to just go and initiate a conflict and has zero repercussions because of that. Imagine that. Imagine Angela Merkel declaring war to Russia, but no male will go and defend their country. No female will defend their country. All male. And all of a sudden she just go and just voted out. That's insane. And the thing is, a lot of these female politicians are elected by females. And I'm a conservative. Listen, guys. And I'm telling you right now, when it comes down to female conservatives, even myself, I would not even vote for them. Because the reason is, in a lot of them, like the Major Taylor Greene, all these people, sometimes they go too deep into the emotionally charged to a lot of these discussions. And at the end of the day, you know what's crazy? They don't do anything. You know why? Because they need the males or the man to go behind those ideas. I'm telling you, folks.
So the idea here is just this. It's just to say this. Since many times already in American history, there's been a general draft instituted, and men have had to go off and fight wars on behalf of their nation, and women have not had to do this. Because you and I agree, they don't have the capacity to do so on average.
Let me get this straight. Let's read this comment. Men should be drafted even though they risk death or torture. But the women shouldn't be drafted because they risk as SA. Well, I guess SA is intolerable, but death and torture is fine. There we go. Man, I need a sound box. I need a sound box. Because this is one of those comments that is like, oh, it's right in the money.
Most women don't have the capacity to go fight with men in a war, then why shouldn't those men, I mean, why shouldn't men in general, since they're all assigned to selective service, have the right to vote? Because they seem to be able to protect the right and women can't. That's the ultimate question.
I feel like with that logic, you shouldn't be allowed to vote then if you don't go to war. Like,
You're
if
still
you
signed up
vote,
for the
like, when
selective
there's an
service.
election,
Wait,
like-
wait. You're still signed up for the selective service. The potential is only there for you to go to war. It's never there for women. If they choose not to, they never have to. There's no
So
potential
your question
for it.
again is why shouldn't they have special?
It's so
and
simple question,
I'm
man.
saying that they should if they.
I agree.
They definitely should without stripping the right for women to vote.
Okay, well, then what special privileges should men get in society?
I don't know whatever special
Don't know?
privileges
No,
you think
that
you
right,
deserve.
that privilege was the right to vote. That was it. It was literally the right to vote.
For
Okay, well, I think that women should be able to vote and that every man's vote should be worth double a woman's vote because they're the defenders of the nation.
but not all.
You've defended the nation.
Not
Well,
all.
wait,
not-
hang on. Again, so I think we're not clear here. We're talking about potentials.
Okay, yeah.
You and I agree, every single man at the age of 18 must sign up for a draft.
In my
And,
country, men and
and
women.
hang on, just stop. Let her finish, please. You
They're trying
agree
to
with
save
me
her.
that every single man must sign up for a draft, right?
I just disagree with you in
No, no,
the,
no, no,
like,
no, 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 no.
like okay, like my vote should be stripped because I.
I'm
He's
not
explaining
saying-
it.
Don't?
Nope, you can have a vote. I'm just asking.
It got to that.
men's
It got
vote's
to
worth
that in the
double.
conversation.
Yeah, okay. Forget. Well, this was because we're in hypothetical land. I'm just asking that men's votes are double what a woman's vote is because they have the burden of being drafted. And
Not
women do
all men. I would argue that it'd be the men serving.
not. Yeah, but why?
Xander
That makes no
donated
sense.
$200.
Why?
Well, why
Are
would it
Slavic
make
women
sense for a
coming here
man
because
who's
they want to embrace American feminism, or are they more interested in maintaining their cultural traditions with American men?
We'll have to get to it later.
Here. I'm going to ask it. Let me just ask this through
okay?
yes or no. None
No,
of the
yeah.
hang on,
Okay,
hang on,
I get
hang
it
on.
because
Hang
it's a
on,
pick.
hang
It's a
on,
selection.
hang on. Stop. Just listen. I'm just going to ask this through yes or no's. None of these questions are going to be loaded, I promise you. Not a one of them. Question one. Is it only men who have to sign up for the draft?
Yes.
Do all men have to sign up for the draft?
Yes.
There we go.
So then does the potential exist that all men could be drafted?
Yes.
Okay, so if the potential exists that all men could be drafted and 0 women can be drafted, then why is it that we don't give men double the voting that women do? Because we're under the assumption that all men could be drafted to go fight a war and 0 women ever will be.
Dang, that was good. There you go. That's it. That's it.
It's
it.
just a-
That's it. That's what happened when you check the woman code, right? The sisterhood. You notice that they're not jumping to safer because they already got checked. They already got established, and there was boundaries and frame that they're not allowed to do that. They're not doing it. Now she's just confronted with the reality that she's alone, and she had to answer that same question that has been asked multiple times. Checkmate. That's what happened.
I don't think that would necessarily, be the solution that we're like looking for in our society. That men would get double vote. I don't know. I think if you ask men as a collective, like, hey, what do you think we should get for this?
Yeah,
I don't
repeal.
think all their men would be like, I want a double
Repeal
vote,
19. That's what they're going to tell you.
over
If
women.
men, if you were to, do you think then that if you were to, and we could run this social experiment, I think it's interesting. So you think if you went down the street and you asked men, you have to sign up for selective service and women
Well,
don't.
that's- well-
So we want to, hang on, so we want to give you double the vote of women. Do you think most of them would say no? Think most of them would demand that women had an equal vote to their own?
Nah, it's not gonna happen. And you know what's interesting? This is one of those topics has been a taboo for years. And you know what? The social engineering has really helped on this regard. Helped a lot. And we all know, men all know, the majority, right, that there's something wrong in this system. There's something that's not making sense. And I'm thank God for this type of conversation, because 10 years ago, you would never have this type of conversation in a platform like this. And now we're knowing the truth. Brian, don't be a simp.
The double vote is just a very.
Brian, don't be a simp.
Wait, let me ask you guys a question. Maybe you guys want your will to whatever you want politically, you want your will to be the law of the land. If we asked women this question, would you like double the voting power of men? Do you think women would take it?
You want me to answer?
Starting with you.
Without an explanation as to why they.
No, you just get double the
Just say-
voting power.
Yes, women would take it.
Well, would you take it?
Without the simple explanation, yes, I would take it.
Would you take it? Double?
Probably, yeah.
Double the voting power?
I mean, that's weird. That's not equal. I would want to know why.
It's just an.
Because you're women.
Yeah, that's it.
Because
For
you're
what
women.
reason?
No
you're-
reason.
No reason, no
whatsoever.
reason.
Still
No
all
reason at all.
equal. Yeah, no, I would not.
Hasn't there been talk though about?
Oh
also
man, they cannot get
having
it in.
women-
You know what? There was a fresh and fit video about this. How they will start asking a very simple question, and they will start with very simple answer. By the end, it will just end up like a damn paragraph, like 2 paragraphs kind of answers. They're doing the
being
same thing.
drafted.
I think there's currently
Yeah,
something.
hey, there's tons of talk about that. You think women are going to vote for politicians that get them drafted? You think that women are going to support politicians who institute a draft against women? Because I would say that the chances of that is exactly 0%.
You'd be.
I would say that seeing a draft for
Well,
women
these
in
are,
my
again-
lifetime is an impossibility.
And you mentioned the monarch, but in today's society, these wars are started by men.
Yeah, inside the percentage, but if you put the same percentage, you know, like same percentage, you will see the females are in a higher rate starting war, and because of their nature. It doesn't mean, listen, between men and leaders, we always know there's a potential of conflict. There's no problem with that. We understand it. We accept that as a reality. In the case of females, they don't understand that potential. They don't understand that potential of violence because they're always protected. You cannot expect a protected class to be thinking that there's going to be consequences for me acting or misbehaving, because there's always going to be protection behind it. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. I would love to hear you guys' opinions. I will see you in the next one.